Hello everyone, today I'm going to share with you how much it costs to live in Bali as an American, and I also want to give you some tips so you can keep your costs down so that you don't start wasting all your hard-earned money. So if you're ready, let's get started. Now before we get started, I just want to clarify that I am currently living in Canggu, so my cost of living is going to be based out of Canggu specifically. However, there are plenty other places in Bali such as Ubud and Uluwatu that just might be a little bit different, but I just want to preference that this is where my cost of living is going to be based off, just so you have an understanding. But anyway, let's jump right into the first important cost when it comes to living abroad, and the first one is going to be accommodation. Now I live in a shared villa, which I explained a couple of times before, but if you're new, a shared villa in Bali is when you have a villa that has multiple rooms and you are paying for one room and you share the regular common spaces such as the living room, kitchen, and dining room. Those are shared areas, but your own space is your room. So my shared villa comes out to $345 a month, and that includes my room, that includes cleaning every day if I want to, but I only do cleaning once a week. It also includes utilities, so electricity, water is all included in that $345 a month price. That's about 5 million Indonesian rupiahs a month. And also, I didn't mention, it does also include toiletries such as soap and toilet paper, and it also includes drinking water. So that's all included in that accommodation price. So that's why I'm not going to include utilities and so on for this cost. Now when it comes to keeping the cost down, when we're talking about accommodation, there are a couple of things that you can do. Like I said, I live in a shared villa, so it's definitely affordable if you can find a villa that has a pool and you're only paying for the room. That way the cost can be a lot lower. But I am also in one of the most touristy area, which is the expat area. So one of the best things to do if you want to keep the cost down is for you to find a villa in an area that's not so popular. So a lot of the times the only disadvantage with that is that you're going to be far away from the beach, far away from the activities, unfortunately. However, you are going to be able to keep your cost down. You know, real estate location is going to be the most expensive, so the further you are, the better. Just think about that when you're thinking about cost of your villa. So the next cost is going to be transportation, and unfortunately in Bali there's only one or two types of transportation you can have here. It's either being by car or by scooter, bike. So there are no public transportation, no trains, no buses. So if you need to get around, you're either going to have to rent your own bike or use Gojek or Grab, which are the apps like Uber apps back in the States that you can use to just get around, and that would be on a scooter. So I do use those once in a while, but my husband and I are sharing a scooter right now, and that comes out to about $76 a month, including gas, which is about 80,000 a month. But I didn't use it as much this month, so that's why I'm not counting it so much. But it comes out to about $76 a month, and that's about 1.1 million Indonesian rupiahs. So the next cost is going to be cell phone and internet service. Now when it comes to cell phone and data, we use Telkomsel, which is one of the companies that we heard was one of the best here in Bali. I've heard there's a lot of different ones, but Telkomsel, we usually get really good deals every month. So for the last month, we were able to get phone service plus 50 or 40 gigs of data for the month, and that came out to about $9, which is about 130 Indonesian rupiahs for the month, which is not bad at all. So the next cost, which is really important, is about health insurance. So if you're a traveler or digital nomad, you know that you need to have travel or health insurance while living abroad. So living here in Bali, I've had my health insurance from Safety Wing, and I've actually been with them for the past 3 years, and they cover you if you also get COVID. So that's really important to know. They have coverage from all over the world, also in your home country. So you guys can definitely check the link in the description box for more information about them. But I pay about $40 a month for my health insurance. All right, so the next important cost is going to be the food and groceries, because you have got to eat when you're traveling, right? So food in general is one of those costs that I have found can be very, very high when you're traveling, because most of the times your accommodation is going to be a lot less than what it is back home. So what happens is, since the cost of your home is going to be a lot less, we tend to splurge a lot on food, and you just don't notice how much you're spending, because realistically, when you're living in another country, you are going to miss the flavors of your home country. So you're going to try to eat a lot of Western food that is going to be more expensive here, because this is not their natural food. So they have to go out of their way to make it for you. So a lot of the time, those are more expensive, and that's where your money can go really fast. And one tip I want to give you guys, because for us, when we first came to Bali, we did not budget. We were just eating out all the time, and then when we found out at the end of the month how much we had spent on food, we were so shocked. My husband did a video about it, and we ended up spending over $900 for both of us, my husband and I, on food. And it was insane, because if you think about accommodation being at $345 and then now you spend $900 on it, something that I didn't even expect to spend. So I don't even know where that came from. But anyway, so I picked up some tips because of that, for me to make sure that I can stick to my budget. So one thing that I did is I tried to make sure every meal that I was having was under 50,000 Indonesian rupiahs. So 50,000 Indonesian rupiahs is about $3.50 a meal. So that made it a lot easier, including groceries. Like if I was grocery shopping, then obviously those costs would be less. But I just wanted to make sure I stick to that, and that was one thing that really helped me. So anyway, let's hop into the numbers. So for me, when it came to delivery, so I had a lot of food delivered to the house, and sticking to that budget, I was able to spend $150 for the month on just delivering. I made sure to only order lunch and dinner, and sometimes I didn't even order lunch. I made lunch at home. One thing that really helped me with that was me making my own smoothies using my protein powder and just bananas. So that was really easy for me to keep my costs down. Another thing that I did was eating out. So eating out only on the weekends, Ralph and I, we would do that. So that cost me about $37.25 for the month on just eating out. And then on groceries, I spent about $50 on groceries. So the total for food and groceries for the month came out to $237.25. So I think that was a great comeback, because if you guys had seen, like I said before, spending, so if it was like 900, that's about like $450 I used to spend before, and now almost half that, $237 for the month on food and groceries. Really happy with that number. All right, so the next cost is going to be entertainment, and unfortunately last month I didn't do much of entertaining or going out. I was really aware about keeping my costs down, and also I had a lot of friends that were leaving, so I didn't have much to do. So I ended up just going to the beach, walking around, and every time I would go out on the weekend and eating at a fancy restaurant, that counted to me as entertainment. I didn't really do anything different, I would say. I didn't go and try something new. Before that, the month before, Ralph and I did go hiking. So if you guys are interested in hiking, we did hike a volcano. I'll leave the link to that video right here for you. It was definitely a must-do in Bali. We also did go to Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, which is just about 30 minutes away from Bali. I'll also link that for you guys. If you guys are interested in activities of what to do in Bali, we did do that the month before, so there was nothing I was interested in doing this month, but we'll definitely do some things in the future. But as far as entertainment this month, we spent $0. So the next cost is going to be my visa extension. So I have to do visa extensions every month, and they cost about $60. That's about 850,000 Indonesian rupiahs. Now the last cost is going to be shopping or any miscellaneous like expenses that you don't usually need to do, but maybe you had to do this month. And for me, unfortunately, it was a new phone. I used to have the Google Pixel phone, but unfortunately, while we were in Nusa Lembongan, my phone fell and the screen cracked, and I went to a store here to see if they can fix it, but unfortunately they don't have the Google phones here in Indonesia. I was so shocked. So there are no Google phones. Don't come here with a Google phone if you have one, because they cannot fix it for you. So I ended up just buying this Redmi phone. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's the Redmi. Ended up costing me about $247 for the phone with the case and everything. And I got this just because I really wanted to have the phone that had the headsets with wires. I don't like wireless headsets yet. I just still want to be able to do that. So that's the only reason why I got this one. There are other options there, and it has really good camera. So again, unexpected costs, but these are things that you need to know when you're traveling. Things like that can happen. So I ended up spending $247 that I did not expect to spend, but hey, I had to. So the total cost for one person living in Canggu, Bali, when I added everything up, came out to $1,000 for me, $1,014 for the month. And just keep in mind that that is because I did have an unexpected expense, which was my phone. I had to get a new phone, so that brought my price up. So if I want to remove that and give you guys a better, understanding of how much you would be spending, it would be right around $760 a month. So $767 was was how much I actually spent on expenses, accommodation, food, insurance, transportation. All of that came about to $767. So I hope that gives you a little bit more of an understanding of how much you can expect to pay depending on how you want to live. Of course, it's going to be different for everybody, but that's more of a realistic number. And also, if you want to do it as a couple, because this is just for one person, but it's me and my husband living here, but I just wanted to give you an example for one person. If you're doing for two people as a couple living in a villa, I'm not gonna double the price of the villa, but everything else. So that cost came about $1,114. So not much more, which I think is definitely reasonable, depending obviously on how you want to live. You can definitely find cheaper villas here. I actually made a video about the apartment situations here, so if you guys want to see more information about that, I'll leave the link to that video right over here. But there are plenty of ways for you to keep your costs down, or even if you want to live more lavishly, you can definitely find more luxurious villas for you. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.